Welcome back to Melody Guitar Book 2. This book focuses on learning how to read and play melodies in standard notation. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Melody Guitar 2 that you can read from and write in. Plus, you'll be supporting a fellow musician, so I'll leave a link for Melody Guitar 2 in the description. We're on pages 20 and 21, and from now on, you're going to start to see rests in your melodies. For every type of note, there is a corresponding rest or silence. For example, your whole note gets 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. A whole rest gets 4 beats of silence. So if I'm alternating whole notes and whole rests, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest, 2, 3, 4. A dotted half note gets 3 beats. A dotted half rest is 3 beats of silence. Dotted half notes and rests sound like this. 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, rest, 2, 3. Then your half note gets 2 beats, and then surprise, surprise, your half note rest gets 2 beats of silence. So 1, 2, rest, 2. 1, 2, rest, 2. And then your quarter note, which gets 1 beat, 1, 1. Quarter rest is 1 beat of silence, so if I'm alternating quarter notes and quarter rest, we have a beat and a rest, a beat and a rest. And then an eighth note is half a beat, an eighth note rest is half a beat of silence, and that's going to be easier to demonstrate on the next page when we include eighth note rest in exercises. Now your whole rest, dotted half, and half note rest look very similar. It's really the same shape, except your whole note rest is hanging from the top of the second line, and both your dotted half note and your half note rest are sitting on top of the middle line. And one more thing about those whole rests. Whole rests can serve 2 purposes. The first purpose is simply to show 4 beats of silence. The second is to show an entire measure of rest regardless of how many beats are in that measure. So if you see, for example, in the middle of page 20, 3/4 time or 2/4 time with a whole rest, that's not a misprint. That just means an entire measure of rest in 3/4 time or an entire measure of rest in 2/4 time. So in 3/4 time, you're still going to count 3 beats for that rest, and in 2/4 time, you're still going to count 2 beats for that rest. Now, when you're playing music that has a rest, you want to mute the strings or stop the strings from ringing, and you can do that either with your right hand or your left hand or both. If it's a note that is open, like an E, you can mute the string simply by touching with your left hand, or my favorite technique is just to retouch it with your pick. Just rest your pick on it. Now, if the note has a finger down, say this D, the easiest way to mute the string is to simply take the pressure off with your left hand. Now, don't take your finger off, otherwise you'll get a pull off or some extra little note like that. You don't want that. Just take a little pressure off so it stops ringing. At the top of page 21, I'm showing that when you're writing out the counting for music that has rest, you still write the beat numbers, but put those beats or the ands in parentheses to show that that part of the measure is silent. For example, the rhythm here in the beginning of this example is 1, 2, 3, 4. Beats 2 and 4 are rests, and we put those in parentheses. And notice that I was muting. 1, 2, I mute on beat 2, 3, 4. At the bottom of page 21, we have exercises 40 through 46. These are just one-note wonder exercises for practicing playing and counting rests. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the metronome on. I'm going to play through each exercise twice. First time I'm going to count as I play, and the second time I am not going to count so you can hear the guitar a little bit better. Number 40. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mute. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Number 41, we've got some half notes here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Number 42, we have some dotted half note rests, and another reminder, make sure you mute the string on the first beat where the rest occurs. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mute, mute, 2, 3. Number 43, we're mixing in quarter notes and quarter note rests. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 44, quarter notes and quarter rest. This time the quarter rests are on beats 1 and 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mute, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 45 has some eighth note rest. I didn't really go over eighth note rest earlier because it's a little easier to show you in the demonstration. So before I play with the metronome, let me just talk you through it. So our counting here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm muting very briefly on beat 3 and then I'm playing on the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If I speed it up a little bit, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to play this with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and mute and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And number 46 also has some eighth note rest. Again, let me talk you through these rhythms before we do it with the metronome. So our counting is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And what I'm doing is I'm muting on the and of 2, on the and of 4, 1 and 2 and. This time I'm muting on my way up with the pick. 1 and 2. So normally where I would be playing an upstroke, like on the and of the beat, 1 and 2 and, this time I'm just touching the string to make it stop. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And now with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 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 Your assignment is to practice the exercises on page 21. As always, work on keeping a steady beat by playing along with the video or use a metronome so you can set your own tempo. And don't forget to order your own copy of Melody Guitar Book 2. Of course, you can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Melody Guitar Book 2 that you can read from and write in. So I'll leave a link in the description. Take your time with these exercises, and then when you're ready, I'll see you on page 22 for a rhythm challenge.